Hi guys, my name is Nico and welcome to Heuristique. I'm one of the readers on the channel. So this is just gonna be for the sign of Taurus. It's general, there's no real date on it. Yeah, and hopefully something resonates. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. So let's just get started instantly, like right off the bat, Taurus. Whoa, whoa, Taurus. Phoenix and black egg. Oof, like right off the bat, you guys are not playing around today. One sec, I need to sip my coffee. For those of you who don't know, this animal spirit deck, I think it's animal spirit. Animal Spirit, yes. By Kim Kranz, she's phenomenal. What's up, Kim? I hope she sees something one day. So this is how the deck is organized, right? Earth, water, fire, air, ether. Right off the bat, you guys got 2 ether cards. So this reading already is telling me that it's going to be a very, very, very divine time for you guys. There's a lot of heavy... See, here's the thing, when these come out, as amazing as it is to get ether, it's also very difficult because it's such a heavy responsibility. Do you know what I mean? Like, ether, spirit, that's next level. You've done something, Taurus, to get you there, right? You've definitely earned it, is what I'm hearing. You've earned this upgrade, you've earned it, but there's still, you know, athletes, they train, like let's just take Usain Bolt for example. I mean, I know he's like genuinely gifted, but you know what I mean? Like, he trains for these races, right? And how would you feel if the day before his final race, he was just like, you know what, I've done all this training, I know I can like definitely win this race, but like, I'm just not gonna do it. No, if anything, like that's the time where he's like, I've prepared for this race. Like when that gun goes, poof, like he's off. And that's kind of the feeling I'm like getting from this reading. So if you guys have felt like you've been pushing and just not struggling, but like really, really putting your energy, you know, long term, this is it. Long-term consistency, which always beats short term. No one can, I don't know why I've been saying that in all my videos. I've been like, no one can fight me on that. Like, long-term consistency, almost guaranteed to bring you success and results, you know, versus a short-term, like, little sprinkling of whatever. Like, no. And Tauruses are so good at that. You guys are so good at understanding the long-term. I think better than any other sign. Honestly, like, hands up, I think Taurus understands long-term better than Scorpio. Yeah. I said it. And borderline Aquarius. Like, I think Taurus gets it better than Aquarius too. Definitely. Oh, Aquarians are so spontaneous. So where I'm going with this is just that, oops. I'm not even picking up on another person in this reading. How crazy is that? This is strictly you, Taurus. This is strictly, and I even that word strictly, like you're being strict with yourself. I almost think, like, I think it's this beautiful moment where you've had it with your own bullshit, if that makes sense. Like, you are not holding yourself back from succeeding anymore. With the Phoenix card, like, see what I mean? It does talk about, like, it kind of falls before it rises. That's the whole process of death and transformation, right? There's a fall before there's a birth. So, as I said, I think that you're at the end of some type of race, some type of cycle. In the Aries reading, it was very similar. It was talking about ending a cycle. But you have very much so been, like, preparing for this, right? And life does that, you know? The universe is, like, amazing like that. They'll give us very specific situations that prepare us down the line for an even better situation. Like, oh, like, thank you, universe, thank you. Even though we cry a lot of the time during them, like, they still prepare us for the best. And it's one of those situations where you've been doing the work, especially with the Phoenix card. It all talks about the root chakra. Heavy, heavy karma lies within our root chakra. And I do think you've just been burning through it. And what I really like about this card, especially in the deck, in the handbook that it comes with, it talks about a burning of impurities without, you know, burning the bridge down. Finding the parts that aren't, I guess, like pure, and I don't mean that in like a holier than thou sense, but our shadow self, you know, dealing with that shadow self. Instead of running from it, instead of projecting onto others so we don't deal with it, it's about going within, dealing with that stuff, and finding a way to change your own behavior, your own beliefs, your own thought patterns. Like, this is a huge card of transformation. You've really changed. And that got me when I said that. You've really changed, Taurus. You've changed. You are not the same person you used to be. You will not suffer the same fate you used to suffer. Like, I almost want to like run through the camera and give you a hug, whoever I'm connecting with. I'm just like, you have changed. You are not the same person. You don't need to, I'm just hearing like someone just being like, have I like, oh, it just feels like you've gone through all this healing, you've done all this work, and you still don't think it's enough, you know? You still think you're like, it's that person who's like, maybe I'm just better off alone. Like, no, you're not. Like, a lot of the time, like, we are better off alone, but not like in this situation. You've changed. You really have changed. You've put in the work, and you need to believe that. And I think this month, the proof is gonna be in the pudding. Sorry, one sec. And when I say the proof is in the pudding, I mean, even you'll realize that you're not the same. The way you used to handle things, you won't be handling them the same anymore. And it's very evident, you know, even evident to yourself. Like, oh, hey, like 2 years ago, 1 year ago, I wouldn't have been acting the way I am. And that deserves a pat on the back. Change isn't easy. Change isn't easy. It's not. Humans hate change. It's been proven. Like, we get so uncomfortable, we get stuck in our comfort zones, and we don't want to do that switch. And it's that whole saying, you know, a miracle is on the other side of a decision you haven't made. Right? Like, think about how much stuff we do the same every single day. If you were just to change one of those things, how much could it improve? How much could it improve you? You know what I mean? It's that whole thing of, you know, Elon Musk. I'm pretty sure him and his brother, like, they started Tesla in their little tiny, like, dank apartment with their computers and all that. And they put in the work, like, night after night after night. They made that decision, you know? Most people were sleeping, but they were working, right? It's that tiny difference. And that's a huge example. A smaller example would be like, instead of drinking coffee in the morning, you switch to tea. But like, that switch, you know, immediately you're not gonna see any results. But long term, what were we talking about? What were we talking about? Long-term results. Long-term commitment, consistency. Consistency is key. And you've been consistent in your healing. You've just been, yes! I'm on your side, Taurus. I am so here for you right now. Like you've done the work. You've put in the work. You've been working. Like, yes, yes, yes. If you're not seeing it already, you're really gonna start to see the results of the hard work you've put in and the consistency that you've dedicated to this. And I do think it's just been to yourself, like root chakra, doing the healing, really, you know, rolling up your sleeves, like going in deep and being like, we're pulling this shit from the frickin' root. Excuse my French, but like, really this time, like, whoever I'm connecting with, you weren't playing around and you dug to the root of the problem and you uprooted that bitch and you were like, never again are we dealing with this ever again, which is, oh, you guys are gonna be fired up. I love it. So Black Egg was the other one that came out, which I thought was so interesting because this is more so residing in the throat chakra, and it talks about having to speak your truth and quieting in so you can hear your own truth, because a lot of the time we just get so overstimulated by life, you know what I mean? And most people are very overstimulated by the past. I'll put my hand up, most of us are. I don't think, it's very rare that you find someone who genuinely can fully live in the moment without a little bit of that past trauma, like chirping in their ear. So as I said, and you've been dealing with root chakra stuff, like you pulled it from the root, Taurus. Like, I just want to give you a round of applause. Like, I could literally film a 10-minute video of me just like clapping for you and being like, good, like Taurus, kudos. And the thing about the black egg is, now that you've dealt with all that stuff, it's almost like understanding your own truth, if that makes sense. You're like, yeah, like I acted like that because of that, but now I don't do that anymore. Or yeah, I said that, but like this is what I meant. Like it's just beautiful, the energy I'm picking up on, because it's so self-validified. You know what I mean? Like, you're validating yourself, you're understanding yourself. It's self, but not in a selfish way, because it's you're understanding yourself. You're coming into your own. You're finally, I hear you're finally in the driver's seat of your own life, you know, for the first time ever maybe, that you really feel like, you know, you're behind the car and you're like, you're starting it and you're like, let's go. Like, I know what I'm doing, which is phenomenal. I just want to give you a high five. I'm just like, fuck yes. Like, am I gonna get demonetized for swearing? I might have to work on that, because I swear like quite a bit. I have to be honest. It's one of my like bad habits, I guess. But apparently smart people swear more. So if anything, maybe, do I? Anyway, so with black egg, as I was saying, there is this truth that I feel like it's already started to come out, but it's going to keep coming out. You're going to have to keep working on this. As I said it in the Aries reading, and I'll say it again here, healing is a continual process. It never stops. You never stop healing, because there's always going to be something you can heal. There's always going to be something you can improve on. My mom actually said to me once, she's like, I don't think I could be a perfectionist. Like, that would drive me crazy. And I'm like, your daughter is a perfectionist. Like, it drives me crazy. I'm very much like that, where every second I'm like, what can I be doing better? What can I, like, you know what I mean? Which can leave us in a state of being a little ungrateful. So it's important to ground yourself again and be like, I'm grateful for everything I have, and recognize how much you actually have in your life, you know? I think that's going to be a key for you, Taurus, because the more and more you start to speak your truth, sometimes that can get combated with other people's truth, which is going to be opposing. And learning to sort of still speak your truth, how do I say it? Speaking your truth in a way that is perceived the best, because yes, there is speaking your truth, but I'm an Aquarius, so I can be pretty effing mean. And I think there's a difference between speaking your truth and then going too far and being truthfully hurtful. There's a way to say the truth, even if it's true, even if what you say is true, but if you said it in a way that hurts someone else, you know, there's a way to do it that both parties walk away, right? Always keep your, and Tauruses are really good at that. You guys are so good at always keeping your dignity. You know, you always keep that level of pride, dignity, like your Venus is your planet. Like, there is this sense of like beauty no matter what, right? Where it's like, we're gonna handle this, but we're gonna do it in the most respectful way, the most beautiful way we possibly can. And I think that's kind of what you're going through right now, you know? Another thing with root chakra that people forget, and I think it really should be talked about more, is the amount of rage that can be invoked, especially with black egg, because this is just like a truth bomb, you know? For the person I'm connecting with, like, yes, you've done all this work, yes, etc., like everything I've been saying, but there's still this like rage, sacred rage is what I like to call it, that can come with it, where it's like, when you realize you've been mistreated, when you realize you haven't been living your true self, the real betrayal that you feel isn't necessarily the people who've been taking advantage of you. Like, yes, but more so it's betrayal to yourself, of like how did I let that person take advantage of me, right? That's what you're upset at. You're not really upset like, oh, that person's like, man, like, because that's still other focused. It's not self-focused. Like, you're not going to heal that way. So yeah, that's very much what it feels like the rage that might be coming up from the sacral chakra is just self-betrayal. And once it's realized as self-betrayal, it becomes a lot easier to stop thinking about that person. You know, that person's voice gets really quiet in our head because we realize the problem wasn't them, it was us. They were a part of the problem, you know, don't get me wrong. Like, if you take, you know, let's just do alcohol because a lot of people die from alcohol poisoning every year. If you're the one who takes the vodka bottle and pours yourself a glass and drinks it, yeah, that vodka was never really gonna help you. It was never really good for you, but who drank it? Right? And that's the self-betrayal. It's like, why did I do that? Even if you knew better. And that's what's the kicker. It's when you knew better. You're like, I knew better than this and I still gave the, you know what I mean? Like, whether it's giving someone benefit of the doubt, whether it's, well, you were in a lost place, or I just really like this person. There's so many reasons, you know, we can kind of like betray ourselves. Ooh, just like this lighting is betraying me right now. But yeah, like really Taurus, you've done the work. As I said from the very beginning of this video, ether energy, it's amazing, it's beautiful, it's transformational, but it's very heavy, it's difficult. You need to give yourself a pat on the back because whatever you've been doing, Taurus, it's gained you more responsibility on a cosmic level. But that also comes with more abundance, right? So you might find that you are gonna be receiving a lot of good stuff, but first you need to kind of let go of all the bad, right? You're clearing room. How are you supposed to get new furniture if you haven't even sold your old couch? Right? Like, what are you gonna do? Put the new couch on top of it? No, it doesn't work like that. And I think you know that because the Phoenix card, it's all about like, it's not an oyster, but it has that similar sort of purifying thing where it will spit out anything that isn't good for us, that isn't meant for us. So with that being said, Taurus, I think I'm gonna end it here. Just congratulations is what I want to say. You're about to enter a winning season. I can feel it. There's just this hump first, you know? It's game day. It's game day, Taurus. It's game day. You get your war paint on. Let's do it. We're gonna Usain Bolt this. Michael Phelps with the swim moves. Like, just babes, you got it. You got it in the bag. Just keep doing you. I literally just want to say, like, you're doing great, sweetie, but that's what it is. You're doing amazing. You're just pushing through. You're doing great. And long-term commitment versus short-term. And you're about to reap the dividends, very literally, for all the work you've been doing. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you have an amazing month. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week for the dailies. So bye. Thanks so much.